Hello, 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 hello. It's a Saturday. It is a Saturday. And I am here. I am feeling so stressed and so overwhelmed that I just had to go live and talk about it. Hi, Mel B. Mel to the B is here. She says, Happy Saturday, DD and friends. So this was kind of impromptu. I did not plan this. I had said earlier to my workout partner that I was going to probably go live, and I wasn't feeling well earlier. But I'm just stressed out. I think I don't know if stressed out is the best word, or feeling overwhelmed is another word to describe how I'm feeling. Um, but I have my spring break coming up. It starts to, Monday. And so I have so many things on my list of things that I said I was going to do that I want to do. And I don't know that I'm going to get to any of them. I don't know. I feel like I overbooked myself. I had high ambitions and it's just not panning out. So I think I just probably need to relax. I'm not getting sleep like I wanted to get sleep. So I'm just overwhelmed. I have a family member that is in the hospital sick, and I mistakenly took my daughter there. I didn't realize the condition she was in when I took my daughter. I think that traumatized her just a tad bit. She was afraid to go in the room. So now I can't really visit, like I want to just, jump up there because my daughter's always pretty much with me. And so I was going to go today. My dad was going to come over here and watch her. And then he didn't feel well. He didn't feel well. So I wasn't able to do that. So that's another thing. I'm feeling guilty that I'm not up at that hospital, as much as I, feel like I need to be. But then it's also having flashbacks of my own, mom's passing and, other relatives in my family. So I think all of that has just stressed me out. So, I just decided that, um, I'm just going to be praying about it. I'm not going to try to be stressed out to get to that hospital. I'm just not, because I have great intentions. And, if I can't make it, I can't make it. I'm kind of letting that stress me out. And then in the meantime, I have just had a lot of food noise coming back. Like I'm on 10 milligrams. And I think it's because I know it's because I'm probably not getting enough protein because, I switched my diet from, eating meat, like I'm not eating meat for Lent. What I could eat though to add a little bit more protein in is I could add the eggs in. I haven't done that yet. And I could also, probably add some cheese in there. I mean, cheese has a little bit of protein. I don't want to mess around with the cheese because, I'm trying to cut out saturated fat. So I don't really want to to do the cheese. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm going to look this up. I think I have, Lent ends on April 17th, and I think I have a few more days. And in hindsight, what I should have done instead, because, I've always given up things for Lent and I've made my mind up like the day before, which is what I did kind of like with this. But I should have really thought it through because in order to get that protein in for me, I'm going to really need to be, you know, kicking it up a notch more than I am. So it's a little bit stressful. So what have been eating is beans. I've been eating, beans, a lot of beans. Of course, I'm regular going to the restroom. I've been eating, fruits and veggies, a lot of grapes, because I bought they had grapes. I don't know if this was at Whole Foods or what store was this at. They had grapes. Maybe it wasn't Whole Foods. It was buy one, get one free. And so, of course, I bought two of them. And then they were green grapes. And I really don't like green grapes as much because they're kind of sour. So I bought some, red grapes. So I've been eating grapes. So I've been eating that. I haven't even eaten my apples because I've been eating grapes. And then I have this little crunchy snack that I like. It's a high protein, it's not high protein, but it's protein based. So I've been eating that. And so that to get my little crunch in. So so that has helped a little bit, getting the protein in, but I just don't have as much protein. And, I haven't really written it all down. This is so unlike me. because I'm usually I write, I keep good records. And so, I haven't really tracked. So that is my goal. Today when I get off this live, my daughter, I told her at the last minute because she would have been asking me, since the moment she woke up, she wants to go to spend one of her gift cards that she has at Children's Place, and it's actually $200. I can't even imagine what she would buy for $200 there. So I'm just going to give her a budget on the gift card for like $60. One of my friends gave it to her for Christmas. I'm going to give her a little budget, and I'm going to allow her to, buy something because this is her spring break. Her spring break is ended. I also think that that's also a part of my problem is that, my daughter this week, was on spring break, and I just feel so bad that we didn't really do anything more fun and exciting. And I told her one of her friends I was, get together with them, but I didn't catch the friend to get her mom's number. So I wasn't able to do that. So we have something, I'm going to do that, take her to the little shopping area, let her spend her little money. And then I'm going to take her to the movies again tomorrow. She loves the movies. So that's what I'm gonna do. But next week I'm gonna be on my break without my daughter. So I'm excited about, just being in the house and trying to get things done. But like I said, I think I've kind of overbooked myself. And so one of the big things that I'm missing is that sleep. I'll go to sleep. I've been going to bed and then I'll get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and then I'm just up. Does anybody else do that? I've moved my phone so I don't look on the phone. Um, and then my brain starts going, like I start thinking, and then before I know it, it's time to get up. And so today I got up, my daughter came in the room probably like 8:30ish, and I said, okay, I'm gonna lay here and just try to go back to sleep. Well, I was, playing a video on YouTube, and before I knew it, I had dozed off. And then when I got up from that, what happened? Oh, my daughter came back upstairs and then I saw it was 9:30. So I thought, okay, I got to get up and get going. And so, basically I made this dip. I'm going to share the recipe, this bean dip. And the bean dip is pretty good, but for some reason I thought I could put this bean dip. I bought this, I should have had my daughter bring this up. I bought, those Mission carb tortillas. Well, I bought those carb tortillas in spinach, and it was not good, not good. I mean, it grossed me out. I mean, when I tell you, I put the bean dip on there, maybe that wasn't the best combo. It didn't even smell good. And I told you I'm having this food noise. So I have some little tortilla chips and I counted them out. It's 10 I get in a serving. That was better, but I just thought, okay, for added fiber, protein, I'm going to eat this carb balanced spinach tortilla. Well, it made me sick. So I ended up getting back in the bed and I just thought, I just got to get myself together. And so I, was scheduled to work out at noon and I ended up doing that. And I ended up getting up and I said, I'm going to make myself work out. I'm going to do what the champions do, right? And be consistent even when they're not feeling so hot. So I got up and I was able to work out. And then after, I got on, I was working out and I was on Taisha's live at the same time. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And so I was at Taisha's live. And then then I came live and I had told Kim that I was going to go live. But I didn't know what time. So, I took a shower. I got myself together. Obviously, I'm feeling better, better because I'm taking my daughter to the mall. But, this food noise is no joke. Like, I always have food noise. Do you guys have food noise? And what do you guys do about it when you have food noise? Normally this is like the loudest it's been though. So that's why it's like alarming to me. Because normally when I have food noise, I up my protein and, do some things. Like, I don't know how much more I can up my protein without eating like 2 or 3 pieces of salmon. I don't like tofu. I know Taisha, does the whole tofu, and I know that's a lot of, and I haven't asked Taisha about this in our sidebar conversations, but maybe I might have to call her up and just get some tips on that. But I don't really like tofu. So I've been eating tuna and I've been eating salmon, and so I have right now food noise. You know what? I have food noise. I'm thinking about the food, but I am hungry. I am hungry. So I need to really just sit down and like write down exactly what I'm eating, how many calories it is. I've eaten a piece of salmon and a half of a salmon. I haven't eaten two whole pieces. I probably would have, but my daughter always wants it, so I give her some. But, I'm eating beans. I don't know about nutritional yeast. I haven't tried that, but so I need to just that's my goal. And honestly, I haven't had a chance to write it all out. Like Lent started on May 5th, and that's when I just changed my diet. I decided on May 4th that I was going to cut out the meat, and I didn't really have like a plan. I just thought, I'll cut out the meat. I've gone vegan and vegetarian before, and so I'm not new to this, but now it's a little bit different because I feel like I have to get that protein in, and that protein is what's gonna make me full, and I don't think I've I thought it through. I know I didn't think it through, and so this later on today when I get back, I said, "Oh, I'm probably gonna make a video about what I've been eating," and so I'm gonna put that off. I'm gonna really just, like, plan my day because, like, plan out what I've been right I shouldn't say plan out, write out what I've been eating, calculate those calories and fill in the gaps. And so, Taisha, I may be giving you a call because I just need to eat. I think, and I am hungry. I am hungry. It's not just the food noise. I'm thinking about food and I really haven't thought about food this much in a long time. And I'm also feeling like I could eat more. But not trying to overeat. And so because I haven't really calculated exactly my calories a bit with since I've been on this, doing it this way with the new eating plan, I've just been kind of cautious because I didn't want, but I find myself nibbling and snacking, and that's what I don't want, right? I don't want to be doing that. So, and before, if I would nibble and snack, it would be like on like some chicken or like a piece of cheese, or it would be on an egg, and I haven't really been doing that. What I know for sure, well, I don't know for sure. I'm going to save it for tomorrow when I talk about after I write everything out. But what I know for sure is I really feel like I need to up my protein. That's what I really think I need to do. And I feel like I'm overcommitted. Like I feel like I overcommitted myself. Like I told everybody, I'm going to do this on break. I'm going to do that on break. I'm going to do that. It's only 5 days in my break. I probably told 15 people I was going to do things. And so I think the thought of that is making me feel stressed out. So that's another thing I plan to do when I get home this afternoon. When I write everything out I've been eating, calculate it up on my Fitness Pal, fill in those gaps where I need to. I'm also going to look at everything I said I was going to do and just prioritize what I actually can get done. So that's what I want to do. I know for sure I'm cleaning out my closets. That's for sure. I know I'm changing over my summer and winter clothes. I mean, I have so many clothes. That's what I need to do. I need to try on stuff. I want to take pictures, but my photographer is going to be at school. So I might have to put some things back on when she gets home because she's my little photographer. So, and I'm curious to see, how much weight I have actually lost tomorrow morning. I did get on the scale today, and I usually count what's on Sunday, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to count what's on Sunday. I might have to count for today because because I'm going to the movies early in the morning. And so, we shall see. But yeah, I'm not really worried about the weight loss of it all. I'm more so worried about not letting this get me off track, not letting this get me off track. So let's see what you guys are saying. And let's see. So I already said we saw Mill. Pammy Pam. I just love that name, Pammy. Hello, hello, my fellow teacher friend. The Turtle Diaries. Hey, the Turtle Diaries. You guys had to help me here with some solutions. How funny. I'm in the car too, says Pammy. I saw the live notification pop up. I'm like, oh, I need to get on there. I've been missing. Yes, we've missed you too. You're over there on TikTok though, aren't you? Aren't you on TikTok? Good afternoon. Hey, Geraldine. I feel like we just saw each other, or, we were chatting it up together. The Turtle Diaries. Hey, Pammy, Mel B, Geraldine. Been missing all the live action. We've been missing you. Oh, shoot. You saying that just good. I don't know what you're saying. Got me too. I don't know. Happy Saturday, Simply Taisha. Dee Dee, get some rest. My thoughts on protecting your peace and managing your cortisol. Yes, and that sleep is so key, and I've kind of been missing that. Look at these little, you see these little bags? Hope you can see with my hat, these little bags. I'm getting little bags under my eyes. And sometimes I notice, when I'm on these lives and stuff, I notice the bags and I'm just like, gonna go with it. But yes, and I don't know, I also wonder how much of it is perimenopause playing a role in what's going on with, because I don't know. I know, taking Mounjaro and these meds affects your sleep. I mean, I've heard so many people say it, and that could be a side effect, and that's definitely true. But, I also have the combination going on of perimenopause, and I think I'm like close to menopause. I'm getting closer and closer to that. So I have all kind of things. And remember, I don't take any medication, and right now I don't feel like I need to, other than Mounjaro. That's all I take. I take supplements. I take a good multivitamin, and then I also I've been taking Nutrafol. I don't know if guys know what that is. It's like a hair to thicken up your hair. So I've been taking that. And so, but other than that, and I take my Mago 7 when I need it, and I really haven't had to take that. So I haven't really been taking that as much either at all, really, because I've been kind of regular on this journey. Um, Let's see. People are saying hello. Yes, yes, yes. Dee Dee, you sure can rock them hats. Look really nice on you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My hair, that's another goal of mine today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I was planning on doing it today, but I don't think I'll get to it because my daughter has that movie. The movies is early, and then I have my live. So I don't know if I'll get to do my hair. I'm going to try to get a hair appointment in there. I may not be able to. My hairdresser stays booked and busy. I do get up and stay up. Yes, Geraldine, I am up. And when I say I'm up, I'm up. And then, like I said, I've tried the phone situation where, you put the phone away from you and all that. One of the things I worry about though, and do you guys have this worry? I don't know if you have people who, you look out for, but I'm worried that if I don't pay attention to my phone, that's going to be the day my dad calls me and needs something, or like in the morning, early in the morning. And so that's my worry. And so that's why I tend to, now my phone is really, the ringer is never on. And I do that because of, school. You used to be surprised how distracted those kids are when my phone dings. Plus, I get a lot of email notifications, and it's been times where I left the ringer on, and it's just ding, 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 and the kids are so distracted. They're like ping pong all over the place. So I turn off my ringer. I forget to turn it on and off, and it just kind of stays off. But how would I know my dad is calling? I have a light on my phone, and for some reason, and then I have a vibration too that could kick in if need be. So yeah, it's just I just worry about that. Maybe that's just an excuse to have that phone right by me. Uh, is it food noise or are you hungry, Dee Dee? I am both. I'm having the food noise, but I'm also I'm hungry, and I know it's because of, I don't know that. Let me say that. I don't know for sure, but I suspect it's because of the lack of protein. So I really got to figure that out. Another thing I told you I have not been doing. So I'm curious to see, how this all pans out with my weight loss, because another thing I have not done is bought protein bars. That was my original thing I was going to give up for Lent, is protein bars, because I was crushing those protein bars. I was eating those protein bars like they were going out of style. And that's another thing that I said yeah, I need to do is you know look at that, give those up. And then I just thought, okay, the better thing for me to do is to get my cholesterol numbers back together. It's just the LDL that's off, and everything else is okay, but it's kind of up there. It's close to that 200, and I don't want to get there. So that's, I just thought I needed to change my diet in some way. And, but the protein bars, I was in the grocery store, and I brought one protein bar. And it was barbells. Oh my God, I love that. It was, I don't know what the flavor was, but it was really good. But now I need to look at the protein bars when I'm eating. That's another thing I put off to say I'm going to do on my spring break, because I need to look at I want a quality protein bar, and I just go by taste. I'm not, and it does, I think, have like 20 grams of protein, so that's up there. But I'm going by taste, and I want to start going a little bit more by something else besides just the taste of it. But if I don't like it, I know I won't eat it. And so I like those. I really do like those. But I only bought one. Normally I buy like a multiple, and I only bought one because I don't, I want to eat the whole foods. I want to kind of get away from, eating the snacks. And I'm a snacker. I've always been a snacker. And believe it or not, for me, Mounjaro has not taken away my need to snack. I don't snack as often. I don't, think about food as much. When I was in class, we were talking. I was talking to my students, and I had bought some Girl Scout cookies for my daughter. They were like these new brownie ones, and she loves all things chocolate. And so I said to my daughter, "What happened to those brownies?" I don't know what happened to those brownies. I remember buying them, and I remember, her having, giving her some, and then that was it. And she said, "Oh, Mom, they're in the cabinet." And I said, "Really?" So today I pulled those brownies out. Well, I could never have gone with leaving Girl Scout cookies in my house before. I would have eaten those babies. And I could have never had snacks that my daughter has and not feel the need. Now, sometimes I might nibble a little nibble on some of her snacks, but for the most part, I don't really think about them. But today and yesterday, I have been. And, I just took my injection on Wednesday. So usually I don't get this feeling until like, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, because I take my injection on Wednesday. But now I'm getting it right after. So I know it's the lack of protein, and I don't really want to even think about titrating up until I let something else kick in. So I hope I answered your question, Mel B. Chickpeas, beans, nutritional yeast. Taisha says, "Okay, okay, I'll try." I don't know. What would I do with the nutritional yeast? Do you put it in smoothies? I think I saw you putting it. Did you put it in your rice or your quinoa, or did you put it in your peanut butter bowl? Oh gosh, I gotta go back and check that out. You are looking so slim, downsizing diva. How long have you been on your current dose? That's a good question. This is my fourth box of 10 milligrams. So I've been on 10 milligrams and I'm down 63 pounds. So, so I've been on 10 milligrams, and I was doing fine, cruising along. Like I said, I really think it's what I'm eating. And this is why it's so important to track. This is why we preach tracking and we talk about tracking. And I know I do. But life is life, and I just got so overwhelmed with my schedule. And I'm really one of those people that can calculate the calories because I've been doing it for so long. So I know like what salmon is, how much protein is in it. I know tuna, for the most part. I have that in my Fitness Pal app because that's like a staple that I have saved in there. But some of the other things like quinoa and rice and sweet potatoes, and what I'm eating with that salad, I got my favorite best dressing in the whole wide world. It's probably not the best thing because I know dressing can mess up a salad, but it's kind of relatively low. So I'm going to figure that all out, and I'm going to share it. And, once I figure that all out, I'm going to get back on track. So, I'm not abandoning tracking. I just haven't really had the time, energy, or effort to do it. I've just been juggling so many things, that's been going on. And sometimes I can have, sometimes I can have a plan to track, and then my dad will call me and says he needs me to do something, so I'm over there. And when I get home, I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I've been really trying to stick to going to bed at a decent time. It's just I can't stay asleep. That's the problem. Thank you for asking. Though I'm on 10 milligrams. Hey, 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 the whole healed metabolism, Kofia. Maybe you aren't eating enough. Possibly. That's possibly true too. We will know tonight. The food noise was getting loud before I titrated up to 10 from 7.5 yesterday. You just titrated up yesterday. Okay. Very good, very good. Well, I remember the downsides telling me, don't be afraid to titrate up. They said, people are always saying, don't titrate up, but don't be afraid to do it. And so, and I'm not afraid to do it. I just think that it was working fine before my diet changed. And so I don't know, but I really suspect that that's the problem. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. How many calories have you been getting in? Also, have you tracked your macros? Well, no, I've been not having time to do that. So that's what I really need to do, is to get myself back on track with this new diet. And I should say diet, I should say my new eating plan. But I'm going to call this, I don't know what I should call it, because this is, it's almost like I feel like it's a diet because I don't intend to stay on it, but maybe I will, who knows? When I get those results back from my my blood test, who knows what I will say. And it was funny because one of my friends that I told you is Catholic, and I went, always do Lent with her, and I haven't been to one of the services since COVID, happened. And so the night I went live, it was a Wednesday. That was the night of Lent, and we had not talked. We normally talk about what we were going to do, what we were going to, give up. And so I didn't know if she had given something up. Her name is Jazzy. So whenever I see anybody named Jazzy, it reminds me of her. I call her Jazzy J. So I finally talked to Jazzy. We have been missing each other. And she told me that she gave up meat too. She said, I heard what you said, and I also gave up meat. I'm like, what? So we were talking about our struggles with giving up the meat. And before, going on the GLP-1, I probably wouldn't have had this many issues. But now, for me, I guess, when you're used to eating a certain way for so long, a change in your routine, like abruptly, like I did, is, it just like with anything else, it's like a learning curve. And I wish I would have prepared myself more. For Lent, I just give up things and I'm just like, oh, okay. And I do it, no sweat off my back. And so, with this, I thought the same thing, but it said, wait a minute, downsizing diva. She says, never mind. Okay, so I probably answered your question. Maybe your metabolism is getting faster, and so your appetite is up. Could be. And I'm going to take that as a true statement from you, Ms. Whole Healed Metabolism. Good way to think about it. I think you should start tracking what you're currently eating. And then, yeah, so I'm going to do that tonight when I get home. Felicia Marie B, I up my calories 1,500 to 1,800. It's helped a lot. So according to the TDEE web, calculator, I am at 15. I want to say it's like, I say 1,550. I'm just going to round up 1,550. And I was at 1,800 when I started. For so long, I was eating 1,800. And, I've been seeing some people who say they're like some of these, men that are, big sizes too, saying that they're eating 12 and 1,300. And I thought, no wonder I'm losing so slow. I'm really eating. Like I was eating 1,800 calories until, I want to say July, starting last February until July, I was eating a good 1,800 calories. I'm not going to say a good, it was 1,800 calories. And then, I was so like thinking, wow, my weight loss is so slow and this and that. And then I recalculated what I was eating. Now, meantime, I went to the doctor in June and she was just loving what I was doing. She just was like, you're doing great. You're losing slow and steady. You want to keep it off over time. It's better to go slow. But she really never said, how many calories are you eating? Maybe you should cut back. And when I was telling her, I'm not losing as fast, all she preached was the slow weight loss. And so she didn't really even care about that. And so, but I did. And so, that at the end of June, this was like the beginning of June, once school got out for the summer. And then at the end of June, for me, that's when I decided to create my YouTube channel. And so then I'm like seeing all these people and I thought, why is my weight loss this slow? Like, it's just slow. I thought it was all things menopause. And then I realized when I went on that TDEE calculator that I was eating probably too many calories. Like I needed to drop it down. And so eventually, that's what happened. And then when I started, I was doing some exercises, but it was like, little things here and there. And when I kicked up my exercise, like in December, in November, December, that's when my weight loss started to kick up. So what took me 6 months to lose I've doubled that in like less than, 3 or 4 months. Yes, ma'am. Can you bring me that those tortillas that I was eating, the spinach ones that made me sick?
Sure.
Don't you just love it? She said, "Sure, Mom, sure." And she just said, "Sure." Oh, I love that. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Taisha, I know that's what I need to do. You still look pretty, and yes, perimenopause, menopause, low estrogen and progesterone impacts your sleep. You need your sleep hygiene in check too, Dee Dee. Yes, 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 I know, I know. And so I got to get on board with that. I know it's easier said than done. Believe it or not, it's easier said than done. Oh, thank you. So this is what I was eating that made me sick today. And you know what? I think it's because I don't know, you can't it doesn't even look green, but they're green. I was eating this. And I ate that. I'm gonna, uh, I am so bad with this recording. That's one of the things on my list of things to do is to talk about, getting a different type of a camera, to help me with the recording and stuff. But I was recording the video on how I made this dip, and I started out great. Like I had it pointed down to what I was doing. I'm chopping stuff up. And then when I switched, went vertical. I didn't keep it horizontal. And it just annoyed me when I saw it back. Everything was vertical after that. So I'm just like, just forget it. I'm just going to put it up vertical. So if you see that, especially you, the whole healed metabolism, because I know we talked about me in this recording, and I had it all down. That's one thing about YouTube. I don't care how you try to be so this and so that and try to get the perfect shot and this and that. It is not gonna. I mean, with the camera, it just doesn't work out. It does not. Pammy says yes on TikTok. Didn't know TikTok would require so many posts. What do you mean require? What's up with that? I didn't hear that. Oh, I forgot my shot last night. I was so snacky yesterday, but I do get that the day before the shot. I am taking things to lower that cortisol. Goli ashwagandha. Okay, okay. All right, very good. Is it working, Pam? Protein helps me though. Yes, yes, yes. So, Dee Dee, sometimes when you're overwhelmed, it may trigger my appetite. When we're overwhelmed, it may trigger my appetite. I do practice deep breathing and quiet time, especially if I know I'm not really hungry. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Dee Dee, glad I'm finally catching alive. Yes, me too, me too. Bellflower, how are you? Yeah, I just so I'm getting some great advice. I know I need to sleep. I know I need to do the tracking, but it's kind of nice to hear, and just let you guys know like what I'm going through. Because I think, you know, sometimes when you're making these videos and you want to do well because you want to motivate people, but then you also hit snags, right? You also hit your little snags in the road. And so yeah, I'm like, geez Louise, I don't want to have like food noise, because if I have food noise, and I call it food chatter, but this is loud, this is a little bit loud, this is like no joke. Like I'm wanting to eat snacks and stuff like that, more so even snacks that are my daughter's snacks. Like I haven't really wanted to do that. I told you those Girl Scout cookies, I forgot they were even in the house. Like I've never, forgotten before Mounjaro, forgotten they were in the house. And usually if I don't want something, I don't buy it because I know I'll eat it, like those Prime Bite brownies everybody talks about. Well, I don't buy those because for me, I think even if I just ate one a day, I would eat that. And I'm really trying to like not do that. I'm trying to, steer away from that. So I really didn't give those up for Lent, but I know I was eating too many snacks, like, snacking on things. And even though they were in my 1550, my calorie range, I still, I'm just trying to, eat a little bit more clean. So that's just a goal I have for myself, outside of Lent. I use it in salads, and I always use it with my chickpeas. I would not recommend putting it in smoothies, LOL. Okay. I couldn't remember what I saw you putting it in. I couldn't remember that. Nutritional yeast. I'm gonna have to pick up some whenever I get to the grocery store. Okay. Dee Dee, you can tell when it's time to titrate up. I was so hungry last week. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some investigating and figure out why first, like, because if I'm getting, so when I, calculate up my macros, and when I calculate up those calories, if everything is on point, I may have to consider. I think I have two more injections in my Mounjaro box, and I have one more box. I had a 3-month supply. And so my goal is to get through that 3 months and then see what's happening. But I've been losing, I've been losing. I haven't really been gaining at all. And so I've been doing pretty good. So But like I said, I just hit this bump in the road, and things have changed since that, since Lent. And so yeah, and I'm just gonna, I've been praying about it, and what does God say? You gotta track, young lady, you gotta track. Notice how I call myself a young lady at 52. Simply Taisha, what did I miss? What is the topic? Okay, okay. Well, you missed, I was saying, PB, I'm feeling so I'm getting food noise coming back. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I have so many things on my to-do list, and I just kind of have to. I haven't been sleeping like I should, and I go to sleep. I was going to bed super late at one point, and since we did the vision boards, I've kind of backtracked, and I try to be in the bed by 10:30, no later than 11. And some days I don't, get to bed at 11, but it's not every night. It's rare when that happens. And when I'm not getting to bed, I set my alarm for later to get up. I give myself a little bit more sleep time. But I get up at once or twice in the middle of the night to go to the restroom. And some of those dead nights, like last night, did I get up last night? I think I did. I got up last night. I got up closer to like 6 though, 6 or 7. And then I looked at that phone and it was all she wrote. I was up since then. And really, I had not, on the weekends, there's no excuse for me not getting my 8 hours in. And so, I just have to close the, not get on that phone. And then my mind starts racing, right? And I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to just sit here and think, I may as well, watch something, educate myself, catch up on videos. And so, that's good. I don't like having an idle mind. Mel says, I agree about titration if people are doing what they need to do. Protein, like Taisha said, understanding your macros. Hard to give good advice, not knowing what people are and aren't doing. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I agree. Well, I told you what I'm doing. I was not tracking for this, this portion of the time. Since March the 5th, I have just been kind of eyeballing it, going with what I know. And she says, hey, Nicole, what did I miss when on this live? She just said, I just joined. So what Pam says, when I want snacks, it's because I hadn't eaten or ate my protein. Yes, yes, yes. And that's probably what's going on with me. Most likely the change to non-meat. Dee Dee has been struggling with food noise and being really hungry. She's trying to figure out ways to get in more protein. Yeah, without that meat, that's the thing, without the meat. I've been trying to get in more protein. Somebody told me, because I don't feel like I'm eating keto at all, right? Because I'm eating fruit. I know you can't eat that on keto, but somebody was telling me, well, you really don't need to track if you're just eating salmon. And not anybody in our GLP-1 community, but if you're eating salmon, if you're eating tuna, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, and potato, a sweet potato here and there, some rice, quinoa, you really don't need to track. And that's not true. I know that's not true. I don't think that's true. Oh, thank you. She said, thank you. It could also be that you were at a reaching point when it was time for you to increase. You're still eating meat, so I don't think that's an issue. Geez, 101. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you? People are saying hello. Friends, don't forget to click the like button, ladies. Only 7 likes, but 25 on live. Yes, yes, yes. Now we have 26, so don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Mel. Love your new pic. Wait, he has a new pic. And I told him I couldn't really see that last pic. Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Very good. I love the pics. Yes, just remember what Taisha often says, we can share our journeys, but we shouldn't compare them. Yes, yes, yes. What's going on today? Oh, Jen, they're trying to help me with this food noise I have. I got to get myself on track. I always say, if you plan to, what is the saying? If you plan to fail, what is it? I got to write it down. Do you guys know what quote I'm talking about? You got to plan. And so that's what I've been really lacking on, is my planning. Pam says she's at 1440. Okay, are you getting in 1440? Because I'm seeing so many people around these GLP-1 streets that are saying they're eating 1,200 calories, 1,000 to 1,200 calories. The highest I've ever seen, some people saying is 1,300. They're trying to get 15, but they between 12 and 1400. Um, and so, yeah, it's a lot of people that are eating very, very low calories. And, depending on your weight, that's not low for you. But, I'm still, up there. I still got to eat. But I think somebody on here, maybe it was Kofi, I can't remember, said, you could be not eating enough. And that could be true. People are saying hello. I think we are giving indicators. I think that you are giving indicators that it's time to go up without tracking. You don't know if you're getting enough in. I'm going to say not because because of you eating less meat. Yes, yes, yes. Seems like protein is the culprit. I could confidently say that as a non-meat eater. I based it on the BMR. Okay, all right, the metabolic rate. Okay, I like those carb balance. Yes, I like the plain ones. These are the spinach ones, not so much. Mm-mm. What if they fell out? I would be so annoyed. I said, geez Louise, I just wasted $5. Normally I get the regular ones. This time I did not. Um, this time I did not because I just wanted to try something different. I just wanted to try something different. That's all. I came home one morning and started eating cookies for breakfast. It was back to 15 milligrams for me. That's why I go back between 12.5 and 15. Okay. That's good to know, Jen. Good to know. Okay. So yeah, when I calculate it up, I'm gonna be letting you guys know tomorrow. Dee Dee, I did a at-home sleep study on Thursday night. We'll have my follow-up next week. Okay, all right, very good. So Mel, when we talk, we're gonna have that's something we could talk about, your experience with that. Yes, ashwagandha gummies kick in smoothly in about 30 to 40 minutes for me, and it calms me with a natural feeling like chill or zen. Okay, I have some of that, but I don't have gummies. I have you just this the regular supplements. So they make you chilled out, huh? I can see that. Oh, hi, the experience with Rosalind. Like the button, hit. Hi, Dee Dee and fam. Yes, push that like button is what she's trying to say. Thank you, thank you. I still make sure I'm getting enough. My goal is 1800, and I would not get that without actively being aware and tracking. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, out for a walk. Hey, Kelly. I said, Kelly, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That is me. I'm a storybook case of this. Storybook. Absolutely, Ed Kelly. Yes. But lastly, I also have been trying the Goalie Sleep since it has some natural ingredients with melatonin. But I also have been tracking lullabies with no melatonin in it. Okay. Lullabies? Okay, okay, okay. Yes. So, yeah, and I know tracking is so important. I just haven't tracked because I've been so busy. And every time I say, oh, I'm going to track it and do it, I haven't. So, really, I kind of know some of the things because, like I said, I have track so long. I know the food that I'm really eating. But the problem is now I'm putting some new things in the mix. Like this bean dip, I don't know how many calories that's all together in there. Now I know how much black beans are. I know how much certain beans are, but put together in this dip I made, I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. So, I've been off because I don't know exactly. I kind of have an estimate, and an estimate is not good when you're hungry. Like if I wasn't hungry, I'd be okay with it. And I just would have just probably started it tomorrow, tracking after, my daughter's gymnastics and, I'm winding down for the week. But this is a 911 because I'm hungry. I'm feeling hungry. So what have I eaten today? Well, I had some of that dip and I don't know why, but I've in this little tortilla. So I don't know why I got this grand old idea. I said, let me put some of this dip into this tortilla. Maybe that's what made me sick. Does dip go on a tortilla? It's a different type of a dip. It's almost like a salsa. So, but I said, okay, let me see what's up with that. So I had that and I just didn't like it. But I think I was telling somebody, I don't know who I was telling. I think it was like if it was like turkey and cheese or some sort of meat, or it wouldn't be that bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some tuna tomorrow and I'm gonna put it in there before I throw these out. And I'm gonna see if that makes a difference. If it was just that the bean dip. The bean dip is great. It just may not be meant for a spinach and herb tortilla. Oh my goodness. I said it is. Oh, did I skip somebody? No, no, I did, Pamela. I said it is not because you're not eating meat, because you are eating meat. You're killing me, Dee Dee. LOL. Well, okay, so Taisha, I looked that up. Technically, seafood is a meat. Seafood is a meat, according to the definition, like that animals have flesh. But when I looked it up, the food regulations, they don't consider meat. They don't consider seafood a meat. It's not in the meat category. And the Catholic Church, which I'm doing Lent, right? So I'm kind of following that. The Catholic Church does not consider seafood in the meat category either. So you could eat the seafood. So that's why I keep saying that. But so I am eating, and I don't really care which way you say it. You say I'm not eating meat, you say I'm eating meat except for seafood, which is tuna and salmon. Those are the only two seafoods I'm eating. So but most people consider, if you're not eating meat, like if you're not eating red meat and pork and beef and all that, you're not eating meat. So, but I know you're a vegan, so you're more technical about it. But, even the food regulations, though, they don't consider seafood a meat. It's not in the meat category. As far as regulations, it's not in the meat category. Maybe probably should be. I don't know. But yeah, I had to look that up because I don't, by me being an educator, I want to get things right. I don't want to be giving out the wrong information at all. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, Aisha. Jen said, I'm a rebel. I have no clue how many calories I eat. I just eat whenever, whatever. And when you're hungry. Okay, very good. Well, Jen, you've lost 100 pounds. So whatever you're doing is working. It is working. For me, I just have to kind of track. And, I guess I'm really tracking too. So I don't undereat. I guess I'm more worried about undereating than anything else. And it started because I was overeating, right? I was eating 1,800 calories. And, when you lose, you got to kind of go down. So I think whatever works for anybody else. I know people don't like the idea of tracking, but I think it's good. I think it's good to track. I really do. Especially for me, so I can know what I'm eating. One thing about you, Jen, you're gonna keep it real. Yes, yes, yes. I love that about her too. And she's gonna tell you too. Jen, if I hadn't started withering away, I probably never would have started tracking. LOL. Yeah, so you can make sure you're getting enough. I get that. Yes, we all respond differently to the meds. You may need to titrate. I don't eat a lot or track, but working to increase them now due to strength training. We are all different. You'll get it. Thank you. Thank you for that, Bellflower. And Pammy, I have those also. The blue ones. Agree that they're a great natural option for rest and relaxation. Okay. All right. Very cool. That I tried melatonin. That doesn't work for me. I really wake up feeling like groggy with the melatonin. The TikTok algorithm to promote products on the TikTok shop, and I try out the stuff before I post. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're posting about these things that are you selling them? Like, do you have like a link to sell them? Jen says, if I felt like I wasn't losing too fast, I lost 2 or less a week, but I was walking 5 to 6 miles a day. Yeah, that exercise is going to pick up that weight loss for sure. Pammy says ashwagandha. Pammy, the ashwagandha. I love that. Yes, Mel B. Wow, the blue bottle, ashwagandha, KSM 66, and vitamin D2. I'm shook by how it claims it calms me so much and it's so natural. Okay, all right, very good. So it has that calming effect. I love that. They are coming out with sugar-free in a week too, Goalie. I had posted on my shorts, a short, and it was it was like strawberries, yogurt, just a different combination of how I was, getting trying to get some more protein in because I wasn't going to eat dairy, but I knew I had to put that dairy in there to get that protein. And so, and I don't like the soy, dairy, and all the products. I've tried the ones that aren't necessarily dairy. I'm not even really a milk fan. I don't really buy milk, and my daughter loves it. I had to like scale her back from it. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna incorporate the dairy. And so somebody made a comment on one of my shorts, and it wasn't nice. I was like, "Where is mail to the bee?" And I didn't tell you this story yet, but so somebody had made a comment saying, you know, this is not healthy. Now, I never called it a healthy snack. I never did. This is not healthy. Those yogurts and those pecans and all that stuff. They have pecans. They have artificial sugar, and he was going on and on about it's obviously sugar on the pecans, and I don't know if it was a he or a she. But then somebody else chimed in and said, she never said it wasn't. It was healthy. And then he said, well, obviously that's what she's trying to promote. And so, me trying to be positive, I thought, how do I respond to this? I thought about it, and I got a 24-hour rule and wait till I respond to something so that I'm not be saying things I need to take back. And I really haven't been getting negative comments. People are so nice, but I just thought to myself, like, I went back and looked at the title, and I never said it was healthy. But I think on this journey, and we have to give people grace. If you're eating things, what does it? A lot of things have artificial sweeteners, unless you're eating 100% whole foods and raw foods, you're going to have some sort of artificial in something. It just is. If you're eating something out of a box, it is processed. If you're eating something out of a can or a bowl that it didn't come out of your cupboard, you bought it on the shelf at the grocery store, it is processed in some way. So at some point, we're all eating something processed. And so to come on somebody's, video, and I felt like they were like trying to chastise me. Well, I never promoted it as being healthy, and we do know if something is sweet and it says zero sugar, we know it's artificial sugars in there. We know it's something making that sweet. And I've yet to be on somebody's video when I saw something they were eating that wasn't necessarily artificial. Something was added to it in some way. And I'm not really trying to promote that. I'm just promoting, I'm in my calorie deficit for the most part. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to slim down, and I'm making better choices. I'm not making always the best choices, because if we were all making the very best choices, we would all be eating raw and probably, vegan and vegan raw, not even cooking. We wouldn't be cooking the food either. We would just be eating it raw. And so you got to give people grace. You got to let people start somewhere. And for some people, they're doing the best they can. And I agree with that. But I think, you start off doing the best you can, and then you eliminate and replace as you go. And that's why, instead of eating all those protein bars, I kind of scaled that back, because I do realize it's artificial sweeteners. I love those Prime Bites. Those Prime Bite brownies, I can't buy those because I would be tempted to eat those. Those have artificial sweeteners. When I look at the ingredients on those, it's a million ingredients. I don't want to eat that. I'm already eating that with my protein bar that I've only eaten once since March 5th, I may add. And I don't want to get on the soapbox on here, but I just think that, don't try to come on a video and scold people about what they're eating. Guide them in the right way. And don't say we're trying to promote healthy things, because the only way I'd be promoting something that's very healthy is if it was like just vegan and raw vegan. If you're adding sugar to it or any of that thing, you kind of take away from that a little bit. And so, give us grace. Give us grace. I just was like so irritated. So what did I end up doing? I was going to call Mail to the Bee, because I had, also posted this post about diversity. Like, I love all things diversity. I really do. And so I had had a quote by Maya Angelou on my community post, and somebody wrote, and it was basically talking about promoting diversity, and that it was a positive thing. And somebody wrote, this was disproven. And so Mel said, let's just block him or her. It seemed like it was a guy, but they put on there like that has been disproven. Basically, that diversity is not a good thing, and it's like, okay, so if you feel like that, and I feel like it is. Why would you make a comment? Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. If you don't agree with it, keep it moving. I don't understand that need for people to be so negative, so negative. And so, I was going to respond back in the nicest, cleverest, classiest way. And then Mel said, just delete. And so we did. So that's what I did to this person. I just blocked that person. I don't need you on there trying to discourage people. I don't really need you on there. So if I'm having strawberries, if I'm having a yogurt, if I'm having some pecans, and I don't care if it was something sprinkled on the pecans, that is a lot better to me than having, in my mind, than having the Snickers bar or what I used to eat. A Snickers bar, a candy bar, a bag of chips, a Doritos, which I hear Doritos are some of the worst foods you can, snacks you can eat. But Doritos, so that's a step in the better direction. Now, eventually, maybe I won't eat that yogurt. Maybe that'll be something that I'll scale back and not eat it. But, I don't need you on there telling me that though. I just thought like, geez, Louise. That's why I'm kind of afraid to go on TikTok because I heard they're ruthless on there. And I'm not sensitive. I can take it. I can take it, what people say. I'm not really sensitive, but it's just I don't want to go on my channel either and see those kind of comments with somebody who doesn't even care. Now, if you've been on here and following me for a while and you're giving me feedback, that doesn't bother me. You're like, oh, Downsizing Diva, shouldn't be eating that. I'm gonna be like, okay, thank you. But for somebody just random to be making these comments, trolling, I just don't like that. So yeah, hopefully they won't find my channel again. And it's so funny because I was like, geez, Louise, I hate to do that. I really like constructive criticism, but I don't want it to be it's mean-spirited criticism. We could be constructive all day long. I don't want to be mean-spirited. That has to go. They are coming up with that sugar-free prompted me to think about that guy. He'd be up in your comments like, sugar-free, that's artificial, that's not true, this and that. Okay, so you guys are talking about those lullaby bites. I've never heard of that. I just know we need to plan. Ha ha. Hey, Deb Zimmerman. I have tried lullabies, only ashwagandha, but that's good to know, Pam. Okay. Seafood provides as much protein as other animals. So since you are eating that, I don't think you are deficient in protein. That was my entire point. I think once you track what you've been eating, yeah, me too, Taisha. I think once I start tracking, I think it's going to be fine. But I will say, Taisha, I'm not eating seafood every day though. So it's some days I didn't eat seafood. I just ate the salad with no meat. Yeah. So some days I didn't eat the seafood, and then some days I didn't. When I ran out of tuna, I didn't make any more tuna. I think I ran out of tuna this week. I think by Wednesday I had run out because that's what I was been taking for lunch. So yeah. So it's gaps in there too, for sure. You will know for sure the lack of sleep and having a lot on your plate could be playing a role. Yes. I think that's it, Taisha. I really do. Um, let's see. Agree to disagree with grace and kindness and move along. Yeah. But people don't do that. That's the first. That's the second one that I've had. Like that first one, I will say, it probably was, just somebody just trying to troll. That second one, it was not nice. It was a different person. It was not nice. I'm like, geez, Louise. Some people look for negative, unfortunately, but everyone should lift each other up on this journey because it gets hard and overwhelming. Yes, it does. And I see, people saying, you drink some drinks and some of these drinks people are drinking and Coke Zero and all of that. People be so quick to tell you shouldn't be drinking that. That's artificial. And I agree, but I think if you could get away from the original Coke, that's a start because you know how many grams of sugar that has. They do say artificial is not that much better, but I think that's a start. And maybe eventually you will come off of the hay. Maybe you won't have a soda at all. And some people say, I can't let the soda go. I see a lot of people drinking soda in some type of, juices or some type of sparkly, type of waters and all flavored waters and all that. And I don't drink that stuff, but I don't knock it because I feel like you're doing what you can do. And we all have our thing. My thing is the protein bar, which I've only had one since March 5th. So I'm giving myself some credit for that. Pam says, yes, I get the links to earn commission. I bought a course to learn what to do one time, and they are now a TikTok affiliate agency, so they have to support and live Zoom coaching, and they will. Geez, Louise. Okay, it's a whole operation. Simply Touch says, so you could very well benefit in protein. I'm tracking now. LOL. We are on the same page now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sometimes I've had gaps in that the protein. I just got, and I said that. Remember when on my journey, I tell you guys I'm a carb girl. I could go all day without eating meat. I'm not really the biggest meat eater. I wasn't. Now I am because I got, and that's where the weight count came from and probably contributed to me going over that edge with becoming a diabetic. So I tell you, I had my blood taken in June and it was still pre-diabetic. And this was a year and a half or so ago, maybe two. And then that August when I went to, the doctor, before school started or maybe school had started, I was at 7.6. So just that fast, my A1C, and I was that summer. I mean, I was doing it up. And so I took myself over the edge. So luckily for me, I caught it so fast. Some people might go years and years or a year or months and months and months longer than me and not know, that their blood sugar level is that high. So that's why I say that preventative care is key. So I was able to kind of get back on that really fast. But I've always been like a carb lover and a snack lover. And so, being on Mounjaro has definitely helped with that, for sure. But that's when I started kicking my meat up. So, and eating like chicken and turkey. And so remember, I only eat chicken, turkey, and fish. I never ate beef. In 15 years, I shouldn't say never, but I haven't eaten beef. I haven't eaten pork or lamb or any of those different kinds of meats. I've only eaten chicken, fish, and turkey. But you can also process chicken nuggets. You can also process turkey. Turkey meat is processed. All those processed foods, sausages, bacon. I was eating turkey bacon. That alley had me eating chicken bacon, whatever she used to say. And that song she had, I can't find that anymore either. Like it's out. And so I'm kind of glad because I was like, I don't know about this chicken bacon, but I tasted it. One day I left it out and I don't even know if you were supposed to you put it in the refrigerator because I saw it by the like the cool section where where the lunch meats and stuff are at my grocery store. That's where it's located by that. And so I saw that chicken bacon. And one day I left it out and I was in a panic because I'm like, oh, it's not in my refrigerator. It's probably no good. Well, I looked at it. You don't even have to put it in the refrigerator. That was a red flag for me. I thought, geez, Louise, like, what is this that you have meat that you don't have to put in the refrigerator? But it was very tasty. I don't think they make it anymore because I haven't seen it. And I think I heard her talking about it at one point. Have you guys ever had that chicken bacon that you could just leave on your counter? They do not on Instagram, being negative. I see many of the bariatric and GLP-1 creators on Instagram. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. YouTube is so super friendly. I think with all that, they get mean comments and the creator says, scroll on and unfollow. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. The struggle makes us enjoy the wins that much more. It's all a part of it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. The struggle does make us enjoy it so much more. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, and it got away from me because I remember on last Sunday, I was just talking about, tracking and going back to the tracking. And I think, and I have put things in, but not for the whole week like I need to. I haven't put it all together. So let me say that because, I know, like I said, I've been eating salmon. So I know that in my fitness pal, I've been eating tuna. All I got to do is just plug that in. But to plug in my whole day and week, I have not done that. That's what I need to do. So I definitely have some gaps in that tracking. And so I really, want to get that going again. And so, it's different. It's different, and then I ran out of salmon. Remember that? I ran out of salmon. I didn't get to Whole Foods. My diet, and I'm just a prepared person and organized. person. And so to not have what you need, I'm not really used to that. I'm used to like having everything planned out, ready to go. So I feel like, and for somebody else, I might still seem planned and organized, but I feel like I've been winging it. Normally on Sunday, I pack up my meals for the week. I did that with my lunch a couple of times, but not. It was only took me a couple days. When I like right now, for some reason, I should be throwing out 5 pieces of salmon just for the week and cooking it and then heating it up. But for some reason, I don't want to do all 5 days. So I took out 3, and that's really going to last me tomorrow? Tonight I won't eat it. So it'll be tomorrow. That will last me till Tuesday. Really, I should take out 5. The reason why I didn't is because the idea of eating that fish. The idea of eating the fish like that, I was like, I don't know if I want to really do that. I don't know if I really want to eat fish and heat it up past 3 days out. And so I don't know, maybe you could go 4. Does anybody know that? How long can you go with seafood, eating seafood like that? I don't know. I don't know. So I always say knowledge is power. So I got to empower myself, right? And I got to empower myself and, just get things together, get things organized. I think I was telling Simply Taisha, I feel so unorganized, since this Lent and my change because I wasn't prepared for it. And I've just been kind of going along as I go instead of being organized and ready to go. And, I've been organized with my dinners until they run out. And before I was eating like turkey chili, I was eating spaghetti with the high protein noodles. I was eating, and that packs up, and I, would ration that out. I was eating, those were like staples. I was making 2 taco salads, and that I rationed that out. I was making things like that would kind of like in bulk that I could put, if I made salmon, I would have my little, little helping of potatoes. I'd measure it out and have my veggies. So I was doing all of that. And so because I'm not, eating the spaghetti, I've been trying to stay away from that, the pasta, but I do need to I'm going to make some spaghetti for my daughter. I'm just going to make mine with noodles and veggies, and I'm going to try that. And have that as for my lunch. So then that way I have time to burn off those noodles. These are protein noodles, by the way, too. So they have that little protein in there that I need. So I need to do that. But I would love some meat to put in it. I did buy this imitation meat. I'm not going to say imitation. It's like a plant-based meat. It's like, I think it's like for a taco salad. So I'm going to try that this week when I'm off and can, make it and see how it turns out. I'm going to try that. I'm going to put it on some salad. Yeah, I'm going to try that and see how that goes. So, yeah, I just have some things to do. I did have some things to do. So, I'm prepared, but I'm not like prepared like I've been slipping. I haven't been prepared like I'm normally prepared. And when you're used to being prepared and planned ahead and you're not, you feel overwhelmed, right? It's an overwhelming feeling of like, geez Louise, like I said, I had unexpected family things going on. I had unexpected things going on. With my daughter, I had unexpected things going on, just with just a lot of things. And like I said, I've been putting it all off to next week. Now I'm feeling overwhelmed because I gave myself so much to do. She says, so what do you guys say? Let me go up here in the chat. She's talking about TikTok. Okay. On the other hand, people say fighting in the comments can make your videos go viral. What? Oh my goodness gracious. They do that on Instagram too, be a negative. I think I saw that. Okay, I was already up here. 3 days is my limit. Yeah, that's what I feel like for the seafood. So that's why I only took out 3. Like I took out 3 salmon today. So after, 3 pieces of salmon. So after that, it was, I'm going to recook it, right? But I ran out before, so I couldn't recook it, and then I didn't get to the grocery store. My days are so late. I'm an elementary teacher here. We don't get out until 4. So, and then I live probably like 45 minutes away from where I teach. And so it takes me on a good day. Like if it's bad traffic or the traffic is not nice, it'll take an hour or longer. So by the time I get home, it's pick my daughter up from aftercare and get home. It's between 5 and 5:30 on most days. And then on some days she has class on Monday she has a class. So I'm in that class, and then I'm also in Taisha's live. I'm juggling that. And so and I enjoy it. So yeah, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm just telling you my schedule. So that's what I'm doing on Monday. Tuesday's pretty much the same. Tuesday's a little bit more open, but I'm doing homework with my daughter on Tuesday, and getting her caught up with her schoolwork and all of, not caught up, but that's the day we do her schoolwork, because Monday she's not home till late. So just think, by the time she gets home, her class is 6 to 7. And then I get home, and then by the time she takes a bath, I get her ready and we, have our little mommy time. It's bedtime really for her. If I do anything I need to do for, my YouTube channel, that's what puts me in the bed late. So on Tuesday, same thing. I have a little bit more time on Tuesday, but I'm doing homework and things with her. And then Wednesday, that's my live day. And then Thursday, same thing. That's when, I'm, get my daughter home. We finish up the homework. She gets a packet and it's due on Friday. So that's why sometimes I might not even get to that grocery store on a Thursday. My best bet is to get there on a weekend. And then in between, in the meantime, sometimes my dad needs me to do something or go over there, or something going on. So I get over there. So yeah, it's just a lot of things going on that I have going on. And so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So Mel does not like heating up that seafood. Nadia says, of course I'm late. Hello, everyone. Hello, Nadia. How are you? How are you, Nadia? Well, you look great. Give yourself some grace and rack it one day at a time. And rake it. Is that rake it one day at a time? You winning, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's so amazing to witness and have this community of like-minded individuals to offer support to one another. Such a blessing. It is. It is. I really appreciate it. It really is. Jen, you told me about those factor meals. I've done factor years ago, and that's when I was balling. Now I'm balling on a budget. I don't even know if I can afford it. But their commercials, because I'm on that retirement budget. Their commercials look so good. Like the food looks so good. So I'm gonna have to go on there. When I call myself trying to do keto some years ago, and I got and I always felt like I was being cheated because, of course the portion sizes are small. And when you first start out, you get a good discount. So I thought maybe I'll just do it for the, to get that initial discount and then cancel. But knowing me, I'd forget to cancel and have to pay full price for it. So, but I was doing the keto thing, so I was ordering meat I would get meat and the veggies, and I didn't have a lot to choose from because I don't eat beef or pork, so that also limits me. But I felt like for this amount of money, I need to be getting a carb in there too, and I was just getting the meat and veggies, and I think I even I think I ordered 10 meals, and I think I ordered 10 meals twice. And the second go around, or maybe it was 3 times, the second go around or the third go around, I didn't eat them. I ended up, I don't know if I gave them to somebody at work or what. I don't know what ended up happening. But I have done the factor before. I was talking to somebody about, they have another one called Cook Unity. Have you guys ever heard of that? Now, when you see their commercial, it's like, I guess, the chefs on like the food chef channels, and those chefs, I guess, have come together and made this, these meals like factor, and it's cheaper. So I thought about maybe doing that. I look at some of those lean cuisine meals, and I look at some other, frozen meals, and they just have so much sodium, and I'm trying to avoid the high sodium, because even though my blood pressure is controlled, of course it could go out of whack, but I also don't want to retain water. Like these thighs and ankles love excess salt. They love to hang on to water, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. So I guess that's probably why, Jen, I haven't. But I said I was going to look at that, so I might have to contact you, Jen, because have you tried them? Have you tried the factor meals? I'm going to look at what they have to offer. All right, Geraldine says, hi, Nadia. People are saying hello. Taisha is agreeing with Nicole. Black Squirrel, I'm here listening, working, and eating protein cookies. Oh, the protein cookies. See, I can never have those kind of snacks because I will overindulge. I would overindulge in those. So people have said, it's funny because people have said they haven't had, their food noise and all of that is just gone on this medication. I don't know that mine ever was like truly, totally, just like totally gone after my first couple of months. I would say like once I got to like June, I don't know if it was the weather, I don't know what, but I still did. I always have been saying this, like it's been me at kicking in. Like I would say probably like my fifth day, that if we go from 7 days, but that fourth day, I've always had a little bit of food chatter. That's why I call it chatter. It's not the noise. It's not as often as I would have, as loud as I would have before. It's just like a little bit, like a little birdie on your shoulder saying, you could eat when you don't need to eat, or just like thinking about the food, and and I just don't do it, and I just haven't. But here recently it's like I've been, it's been loud, like it's been loud. Isn't that a song, Let's Get Loud? Isn't that Jennifer Lopez? Like, yeah, I've been feeling like that, like it's just been a loud kind of noise. And again, I don't want to titrate up without information, so I still have a box and a half on my 10 milligrams. I plan to use that. So, tonight I'll know more information. I'll know what I'm doing and how much I'm eating and what I'm doing. I'm going to really get it all together. And then I'm going to be calling up my girl if I have some gaps in that protein. And I've already, bought the protein powder that Taisha talks about. And so I made that protein bowl, and I felt like I was eating so healthy, but it wasn't really sweet. And I don't know, I think I was expecting it to be a little sweeter than it was. I had blueberries and strawberries in it. And so when I feel the need to eat something, I will eat that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow during my live weigh-in results. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I'm learning. People are saying hello. Did I miss that? Oh, hi, Black Squirrel. I'm here listening, working, and eating. I've read that, eating those protein cookies. What kind of protein cookies are you eating? What's the name? I'm not gonna buy them, but it's good to know. So when I feel like I can get that going, I will. Are you on IGDD? I want to share something with you. Let me know, or maybe I will email it. Okay, I am on Instagram. What is my Instagram? Let me look it up and see. Every day, it's so funny. Every day, oh goodness gracious. Every day I'm getting new subscribers to this Instagram, and I don't know how to be on there more than I am. I feel like I need a social media manager. I'm not on TikTok, I'm not on Facebook, and I plan on trying to start my little, not start a Facebook page for me, but just to be able to go on people's. So I'm really just on YouTube. Now I did start, what is my name on? I'm Downsizing Diva 8 on Instagram. And how many I have? One, two, three, I have 6 videos up there. So I'm doing good. Like they're really short videos. I don't know what you could do on Instagram. I don't know that much about it. So I need to like get in the habit of that, doing that. Geraldine says, I had the shrimp and grits this winter with Factor. Oh, was it good? Was it good? That sounds good. I've stayed away from shrimp, just because of the cholesterol. But I could, like, if I ate shrimp once a week, that should be fine. That's probably another thing I need to do is, spread that seafood out to the shrimp, and I haven't done that yet. I do. I told you guys I have some coconut shrimp in my freezer that I could put in the oven and eat those. It like has a little coconut breading on them. And so I could do that. I just haven't, because I'm trying to stay away from that. But yeah, I might do that. Actually, I might do that tonight. I might have that with a little bit of I guess I have some broccoli still that I made. But I still have a little bit of broccoli. So I may just do that. I don't know. Oh, you gave me an idea, but I've been trying to stay away from the shrimp though. I have purposely tried to do that. Delilah, how are you? How are you? Delilah, I did not know I didn't decide I was going live until today. So that's why I didn't say anything. I just kind of thought like, oh my gosh, I'm just kind of struggling with this. Let me see what people are saying. Who sent me let's see, Beverly sent me a recipe for I haven't, but people love them. Okay, okay, yeah. I saw Round Mound of Zepbound talking about the factor meals. Hey Dee Dee and crew, happy Saturday. I need, I still haven't made those Brussels sprouts. I was planning to do that last week. I think, who sent me a Brussels sprout? Oh, Pam did. Pamela, perfectly Pamela. And you sent the same recipe that Beverly sent me. Hers was from TikTok, I believe. Like she saw this lady make it on TikTok and she sent it. So I need to do that. I need to put those Brussels sprouts. Maybe that's what I'll have tonight with the shrimp, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Our school is 9 to 4. We are too, but we have to be there at 8:30. Teachers have to be there at 8:30. But your high school that late? Because our high school is earlier. Jeez Louise. My son provided the factor meals when I was visiting for 30 days for winter holidays, and I enjoy them. Okay, okay. So I told Jen, I'm gonna look through. That's another thing. I said, I'm gonna do it on my spring break. So on Monday, I plan to look through those and see. And like I said, if I could just get like the discount they give for, your first, it starting, and I don't know, maybe I might be in their system and I might not get it. That's another thing. You just followed me. Oh, that's so cool. Nicole, you were fast, girl. You were fast. Okay, I've just followed you back. Okay, okay, super cool. Let's see. Let's see. What are you saying? I think I said that already, Jen. I'm sure you can find meal prep companies in your area as well. They are so popular now. Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, because to go with my little busy schedule. Um, Most of the factor meals I've tried have been really good. Okay, good, good. Yeah, when I had them too, they were. I just thought they were expensive after a while. Delilah says, I tell people all the time, is it that you don't feel like eating, or is it that you're not interested in eating, or are you unable to eat? Because there is a difference. Yes, 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 it is. It is. Um, for me, I feel like I want to eat. Like I want to eat more and not just what I'm eating. Like I'm feeling the need to like nibble and snack and yeah, I'm thinking about food. Like I said, the food noise is coming back strong. And like so that's what I think. I think it's because I don't know. If it's a 10, once I sit and see what I'm eating and put it all down, I'll get to see, what has thrown me off is this Lent and giving up the meat, seafood for those technical people. So what has thrown me off is giving up the beef and and I didn't eat beef and pork. So I gave up chicken, fish, and turkey. I mean, chicken and turkey. I still been eating fish, salmon, and I still been eating tuna, and I've been eating those two. So yeah. So yeah. And like I said, once I run out of that from being cooked for the week, then it's like I'm eating beans to supplement and things like that. But so I'm probably not getting in enough tuna. I think I am getting in my calories though. I do think that. Um, but we'll see. We will see. We will see. I'm gonna put it on paper and then put it in that app. And some of the things I put in the app, I just haven't like pieced it all together. You know what I'm saying? Like 'cause some things are just tracked in my app from, I'm a creature of habit. I'll eat the same thing. And that's why I say that's how I know what I'm eating, because every week I'm pretty much eating the same thing. I don't do a whole lot of switching around. Um, and if I do, I could just plug that one thing in. And I pre-track. So then I would go back and just switch things up as I need to. So that's what I need to do. And I have to pre-track because I'm pretty, kind of busy during the week. And also this YouTube is taking up a lot of my time. As you guys know, I'm live 3 days a week. So I'm busy with that. And then, I'm making thumbnails and doing descriptions. And I think I'm also almost putting too much effort into these thumbnails and titles. I see some people just putting like, whatever's on their mind, they put in the title. Here I am sitting, be it thinking about it and this, that, and the other. So, maybe I'll let some of that go and just kind of be more off the cuff, with things. Who knows? I don't know. I just need to, what's that senator that says, I got to reclaim my time? I feel like I got to reclaim my time back. So that's what I'm gonna figure out over the week. I'm gonna be figuring out how to reclaim some of my time back. Um, Simply Taisha says, she says that was a different peanut butter powder, DD. It's not the same, LOL. It's not the same as yours. Yeah, I do. I got the PB. I didn't even get the fit. I ordered it so quick, but I didn't get the fit because I thought, oh my gosh, what if the fit is probably tasting a little bit like Taisha is saying, that total organic was. So I said, because this is new, and I'm a virgin to this peanut butter, to this peanut butter powder, I said, I'm going to start off with just the regular, right? And it still, has a nice, I need to stop, rubbing my nose. I saw myself, playing back and I thought, let me stop doing that. But I think the peanut butter powder is good because it is less fat than regular peanut butter. Like all the things you were saying, the reason why you eat the powder, it's still true with this regular peanut butter. And I'm going to compare. I didn't notice a big difference, so I just got the regular because I thought I don't want to get it and not like it and kind of be like you, and then you're stuck with this whole jar of something you don't even like. And my daughter didn't like it either. She took like a what do you call that? What do you call that? She had like a little Hershey's, like a mini bar, and she dipped it in there. She had some Reese's, and that's what it was. She said the Hershey's went bad. I don't know. I never heard of a candy bar going bad, but she thought it went bad. This is like a little mini, I think from Halloween. Who knows how long it had been around. But she had like those peanut butter, these mini dark chocolate peanut butter cups from what was it, Trader Joe's, and she dipped them in there. I was gonna send you a picture, Taisha, of her doing that dipping. I didn't do it yet. It was on my list of things to do, and I think when I was talking about it, I got distracted. But yeah, so she likes it. She said it's not so bad, and I said yeah, because you just added some sugar to it with that, what you were doing. Mia said you can use AI. Well, and she said to think of what to make or the best options or protein heavy recipes. You can also make a meal plan with what you have on hand. Just an idea. Yeah, I never thought about using AI. Oh, I could say AI, take this up a notch. Okay, make it more protein. All right, Mia, that's a great idea. AI to the rescue. I bought a single serving of Lenny's and Larry's crunchy protein cookies, 160 calories and 6 grams of protein. Very tasty. I used to eat Lenny and Larry's crunchy protein. I've also tried have you ever tried their everything protein pretzels? I had those too, and they remind me of like the everything bagel. Lots of heavy on the garlic. I felt like really garlicky. But yeah, okay, all right. I just had to know, just because I'm thinking about food. I don't necessarily want to buy them or eat them. I just wanted to know. Thank you though for that. Delilah, that's right. There are 3 different ways of hunger versus not hungry and not able to. And I'm hungry right now. Whatever I do eat, that's gonna be my dinner. Dinner here because what I ate, I didn't eat the whole thing because I didn't like this wrap. I probably held this thing up 3 times by now, but I have some some of this dip that I made. I had that. I'm gonna probably put that video out tonight after I calculate my little calories. Of this thing, and it is vertical. So if you're on here, if the whole heel metabolism, aka Kofi, is on here. It started out horizontal, and then when I changed it up, I went to vertical because that's how I'm used to holding my phone. And I just knew I was horizontal the whole time. And when I uploaded it to my computer yesterday, I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Well, that's okay. I'll just put it out there. But so if you see that it's vertical, you can't see the whole shot, you'll get the gist of it. And you guys have to try this dip. Let me know what you think. It's no meat in it, but it's lots of fiber. Lots of fiber in it. Okay, what are you guys saying? Let's see, I got distracted. Uh, vein insufficiency. Did you also have the vein insufficiency or lymphedema? Oh, you're talking with Delilah. I think you're talking with Delilah. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, your knees have been swelling up since coming down on Mounjaro. Oh wow, your knees to ankle have been swelling up since coming down on Mounjaro to 5 milligrams. I wonder why. Wonder why. So you might need that stronger dose. I never heard of factor meals. My god sister was telling me that she just started thistle meals. Okay, I never heard of that. I never heard of that. I'm gonna I am going to look that up. How about that? Thistle meals. Have you guys heard of that? Ooh, okay. What's coming? Oh, here's this thistle. Oh, 40% off to start. Let's see how they look. Oh, okay. It says why thistle, plant power, delicious, nutritious, plant forward meals, snacks, and cold pressed juices too. You could choose from breakfast, lunch, and dinner with plant and meat protein options to suit your needs. It's delivered fresh. I don't know if they would did deliver it Ohio in my area. Let me see. Um, it says we deliver fresh, fully prepared meals to your doorstep, designed by our nutritionists and chefs. Skip a delivery, pause for the week, or cancel anytime. Make a healthy habit with no commitment. Okay, this sounds pretty good. And then I see some pictures. Okay, all right, very good. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, okay, okay. How about that? Do you guys want to see that? I could actually go to the site if you guys wanted to see. I'm sorry, I just had to go on there because that might be an option for me. I wonder how much sodium is in it. Um, but we'll see. Thank you for sharing that. Roslyn, I forgot to say hi. I saw those. I never heard of the Factor meals, and I have to go there. Let's go to the Factor site. I wonder if you're feeling that way because you are fasting certain foods and your brain is like, give me. Could be. On the weekends, I don't eat until like 11, 11:30, 12. I ate a little bit earlier today because I was feeling hungry and I cooked got my daughter breakfast. I don't think I ate till after 11, though. Sometimes I go to 12. Hi, Black Squirrel. Wish I liked fish better. We don't have great seafood in Idaho. Hey, Debbie's Weight Loss Revolution. Debbie, I saw that you're up to you lost 7 more pounds since we interviewed. You're at the 214. That is awesome, 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 awesome. I'm gonna figure out how to give you guys some applause, something besides me, right? Pam, when I water fasted, my inflammation subsided for almost a year and a half. Wow, very good. Wow, that fasting is no joke. I see that. I see that. Let's see. She says, I hear you. It's hard to get all the social media stuff down too. Yes, 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 it definitely is. Okay, I feel and hit my alerts on IG. I'm on there more. Oh, okay, you're on IG. Well, I see two people in here just came to the IG. Debbie, we surely don't hear in Texas either. Okay, okay. True crime fangirl. Oh my gosh. Hi, Diva. Just an update. My doctor took me off the shots. I might try again in 6 months. Okay, okay. And you know what? I remember when you were on with when I interviewed Dr. Dan, and one of the things I said was maybe you're not a good candidate for the shots. And Dr. Dan said, no, that, there are things you can still do. Like he basically said, no, we could, you could work with whatever you're doing. So your doctor actually took you off the shots. Wow. Geez, Louise. So how are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about that? And, were you making progress? How's that progress coming along? As I remember, one of the things is you weren't eating enough calories, right? So, how's it going for you? Oh, I would love to know that. Thank you for stopping in and sharing. I often think like, What is going on with you in that whole, your whole, eating situation? The naked peanut butter powder was disgusting, in my opinion. Oh my gosh. And if you don't like it, I probably wouldn't like it. I'm glad you warned me though. We were kind of like, one day we were on there together on Amazon and we were trying to find me a protein powder. And I just happened to come across that one and it was organic and it didn't have a lot of added this and that. And so Taisha said, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. I said, okay, I'm going to order it too. But I didn't order it. I hadn't ordered it because I was waiting for my dad to meet up with him because he wanted to order something on Amazon. So I thought I'll wait for him and just order it all together, which is what I ended up doing. Well, Taisha went ahead and she texted me, I ordered it and she didn't like it. I felt bad because, it's something I scrolled across. But we were taking a chance because we didn't get a recommendation or anything. We just kind of saw it. We thought it looked good. But that's what I'm saying. Now we see why some things need a little tad bit of sweetness. I think that thing had nothing. And, and you're used to a little tad bit of sweetness in there, and that little bit makes a difference, right? So I'm glad that you were able to figure that out. I don't know. Have you tried to give that to Taisha, to somebody that might like it? Maybe you should give it away. Like if you retire, but if you were at a workplace, maybe your husband could take it to his job. Because if you were at a workplace, you could leave that in that lounge, and I bet you that'd be gone before you got back. At the end of the day, that's too funny. The experience with Rosalind. Appreciate the time and thought you put into your titles, but we'll tune in regardless of the clever words. Okay, all right, thank you. Uh, oh, it took me off. As soon as she said that, it like kicked me off of here. I don't know why. They're like, don't give up those clever titles. That's too funny. That is too funny. Okay, so I scrolled all the way down so I could put that in there. Okay, what are you guys saying? Okay, true fan. Oh, thank you for that, Rosalind. Thank you. Um, there's studies showing that those of us with insulin resistance due to type 2 diabetes, especially eating higher carbs, is a known trigger to crave more. Yes, and that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't want to like lean on those carbs. But Delilah, you're by the gulp. You guys are talking about meeting up, I think. Some you two. Okay. Debbie, north of Texas is nowhere near any natural body of seawater. I grew up 8 miles from the Pacific Ocean, so fresh seafood was common there and not available here. Okay, okay. Oh, wow. Hmm. Okay. Deb, the Gulf is not the best for fresh seafood. Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know. Good to know. How about an instant pot? I always see they sell a bag of meal already put together in the supermarket for quick dinners. That's a good idea. That's a thought. You know what I picked up? And I should not have done this, but my daughter, she likes it too. So, do you guys have a PF Chang's? Do you know what that is? Do you know what a PF Chang's is? It's like Asian, they consider it Asian cuisine. And I'm sure it's so high in sodium, but I saw they had this seafood, not a seafood, it was shrimp. It was shrimp and it was some kind of noodles and a lot of veggies. And I love the Chinese veggies, but I know it says no MSG in it because I know that's one of the things that could trigger you holding on to water. But it had more sodium than most. And I thought, how can I take this meal and make it healthier where I could add more veggies to it. And, I could give my daughter some of the noodles and maybe substitute with quinoa. But I thought I'm going to make this meal work. And that's like, it was a meal in the bag. So it reminded me of that. It's in my freezer. I also bought some PF Chang's green beans. And they have like this sesame seed kind of oil. stuff on it, but they said it was cooked in like I guess a sesame seed, sauteed in the sesame seed oil. But I got those because I thought, push comes to shove, some of those days I could eat that I need something quick. But yeah, I'm curious to know how they taste. Yeah, that is a great idea, Jen. Thank you for that. Territory meals are made by chefs too. They look delicious. Territory meals, I've never heard of territory meals. What is that? Okay, guys, you got me wanting to go on here and see this stuff. Territory meals. Never heard of that. I use the crock pot a lot. Now I'm working nights and I don't have a lot of time to fuss over the meals. Okay. Yeah, a crock pot is good too. So for something quick and ready to go. I've heard of purple carrot. Yes, I'm about to write these down because we're gonna go on these. So purple carrot I've also heard of. What was that other one? Thrive. We know what's it called? Food. What's it called? The one that Factor. Is it Factor Foods? I can't remember if it's Factor Foods. We know about these. Let's see. So we have purple carrot. I've heard about. What's that other one that I said earlier? It's made by these chefs. It's called. Oh, geez, I took a screenshot of it. I forget what the name of it is. But you guys are gonna get me together. I love it. What is the name of that? I can't remember. I just said it earlier. That's my memory kicking in. Congratulations, Deb. The downsize. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. People are saying hello to the downsize. Dee Dee, are you checking your blood glucose levels daily? When it's stable, you should feel less hungry. No, you know what? That's one thing I don't do is I don't check my blood sugar levels at all. And I guess, I never thought about checking them, for the energy level. I think it would be really helpful. I've never had an issue, but do I really know if I'm not checking that long? But I've never had an issue with like my blood sugar level going too high or too low that I know of, like had feelings of that. And anytime I've gone to the urgent care, just for like a regular cold or whatever, I get checked and it's always, like where it should be. So, so no, I haven't done that. I know people that check their blood, level every day. And every time they eat and all that. I haven't done that. My doctor told me she didn't think I needed to do that, and so yeah, so I haven't done that. But I guess if I really wanted to pinpoint some things, that might be something that I can do. I'm open to it, but I got to catch up on checking this. But yeah, that's something that I could eventually do if I need to. That is a great question. Oh, true crime. I hope that helps you. Yeah, I want to know true crime. Whatever happened? I don't know if you're down in the chat and I can't see it, but I really would love to know how you're doing off the medication. 6 months. I thought you were going to say 3 months. 6 months is a long time. Nicole Thomas, that's a great question. I agree. I'm sticking with Old Faithful. I like the Simple Truth brand. Okay, yeah, and you're a creature of habit, and so am I. And if you love it and you eat it every day, I would stick to that. Travani is organic vegan protein powder. Okay, I've never heard of that one. The one I use is called Organic Blends, I think. I think that's what it is. Thank you, Delilah, Mounjaro, and lots more moving, getting closer to go. Yes. You are getting really close to your goal. 214 pounds. That's awesome. Girl, I'm not giving that to anyone because it's open. Since I am weird about stuff like that, depending on who it's coming from, I'll find other ways to use it. LOL. Yes, but so I don't know I was thinking if your husband is close with somebody at work, like if I open something, there are people at work that still would eat it because they trust me, with something like that. Now, but I'm just telling you, at my job, it's funny because people will say, oh, I'm on a diet. Oh, I'm not eating this or that. You put a snack in there and it's gone before an hour. People are in there eating it. So yeah, I know. I just know places of work can kind of be like that. But yeah, if I've taken things that were open and people, know it came from me and they ate it and they're still walking around fine. But I'm like that too. I probably wouldn't be one of those people that are doing it either, depending on who it came from though. I have some work buddies that I trust, so I probably would eat it from them. So that's what I was just thinking. You know, I love the PB Fit. See, I don't have the PB Fit. I have the PB Original. So when I finish this, it's going to take me a long time because I'm not even eating it on a regular basis. But when I finish the PB Original, I am going to try the Fit for sure. Taisha put it out for the squirrels. You might be serious too, Jen. You're a serious lady. I don't know. Are you joking? Simply Taisha, maybe add it to fruit vegetable smoothie. That's a good idea. I don't know if you thought about that, Taisha, but Taisha doesn't really drink smoothies though. Still wasn't eating enough calories. What is that? Paresis at 5 milligrams. My A1C went from 6.5 to 5.1. I lost 35 pounds in 3 months, but I couldn't keep food down. May go back to 3.5. Oh, what's it? Mantra in, I don't know if that, I don't know what that is. In 6 months. Okay. So you did well, but yeah, did you lose any hair or anything else? Because I know you weren't eating, said you were eating very low calories. So I think that's a win. If you weren't, you lost, your A1C did well. That weight will take it down for you for sure. And you lost the 35 pounds in 3 months, but you weren't eating a whole lot. So did it take out your hair? You hear people complaining about that. And nervous about the hair loss. So we'll see. Appreciate you and your channel. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping in too. Yes, PF Change. It's been a long time since I've been. I like your idea of recreating a healthy option for you. Yes, scratch, right? Taking their frozen option and spicing it up with the healthier option. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that and see how that turns out. The downsides, we did a video on Trifecta. They weren't a bad option. No, and I've had it before. The thing that's holding me back is I'm on a retirement budget. It's not in my budget. So that's one of the only reasons why I'm really not, haven't ordered it already, because normally I would have done that. Not just for the peanut butter, they have a bunch of products. It's an organic line. Yes, yes, yes. I know you were saying that. Okay, okay. I'm absolutely going to give it to the squirrels. I can make snacks for Cyberus with it too. Woo! Losing power on your iPad. Oh no. Plug it in, plug it in. Wow, true crime girl. I'm sorry to hear about your gastroparesis. I hope it heals well for you. I know, I know. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. You seem like you are, you're one of those people that can bounce back. Good idea, Taisha. Cypress would probably love it. Yes, yes, yes. My dog loves peanut butter powder sprinkled on her kibble. Oh, I didn't think about giving it to your dogs. That's a good idea. If it, I just hate for it to go to waste. I hate for it to go to waste. So I'm gonna go on some of those, I'm gonna go on some of those sites um that have the food. So I'm going to look at that because that's going to be one of my options to actually do that. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get to it first. How about that? Let's start off with this purple carrot, since I'm eating what do you call it? I'm eating plant-based. All right, so we're going to go to the purple carrots first. They're offering 50% off. How about that? 50% off. Now, for the most part, I want to cook and have fresh food, but this is just, the reality of it is I'm a busy single mom, and I gotta, let's see, I just gotta try something different probably. So I don't know. Can you guys see this? It says, no compromises, 50% off your first box. Oh, high fiber. What is that? Okay, get started. Look at Katie. Katie Couric is on here. Isn't that Katie Couric? Choose meals that match your goals. Meals delivered to your door. Okay. They probably want me to type in my information. Okay, discover more meals. What about this? Okay, so here's super greens, fried rice with peanut drizzle and some kind of pepita lime crunch, sweet potato burrito with white beans and kale, a white citrus Caesar salad. Okay, the salad looks good, but I wonder what is that tofu on there? You think that's tofu on there? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Now I'm only doing this for about what 20 more days. So I don't think I'm gonna take this route. I really don't. I think I need something with like the salmon and all of that. So let's go to I don't know if you could see Factor Foods. I don't know if you Factor 75, is that it? I don't know if you can see them without going you can see the meals without going through stuff because they want you to get the offer. I don't know. Ew. I see. What I would need to put in that I'm doing. Here's our plans. How much are they trying to charge us? Oh man, I don't want to go through like signing up for stuff. I just want to look at the foods. Let's see what the weekly menu looks like. Okay, so that's chicken. No, 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 no chicken. I could do no. That looks like it's sausage. Here we go. Sausage. No. Salmon, here's the salmon. Salmon with rice. Okay, I could do that. They call that keto. How about that? Okay, we got so 600. I'm just trying to see the sodium. 890. See, that's what gets me with the lean cuisine meals. And I guess if anything's frozen, they're gonna have that sodium in there. 680 calories, 56 grams of fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, I'm trying to stay away from that saturated fat like that. 13 grams of carbs, so that's the low thing. 4 grams of sugar, 6 grams of fiber, 34 grams of protein, 120 milligrams of cholesterol, and 890 milligrams of sodium. I think that's a lot. Do you guys think that's a lot? Oh my goodness. So this is all the things that they have in it. I like how they show you that. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that salmon dinner, 890, that scares me with the sodium. I guess it could be more. I guess it could be more. I hope you guys can see. I don't even know. Nobody texted me that they couldn't. So what do you guys think about that? Were you on that other tab with me? I don't think you were on this tab. I'm sorry. So look at we're on Baja Salmon. Let me go back and see if I'm on. Okay, this is what I was just saying. I don't think you were on here. So this salmon, we have, look at the rice. It's a cauliflower rice, broccoli, and jalapeno lime cream with like a lime cream to it. So do you guys think this is a lot? 680 calories, 56 grams of fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, 13 carbs, 4 sugar, 6 fiber, 34 grams of protein. That's a lot. 120 milligrams of cholesterol, 890 milligrams of sodium. I think that sodium count is a lot. You guys think that's a lot? I think that's a lot. I don't know. You said you can see it. Okay, so that was that. The factor, yeah, they had, I think the factor looks good, but because I'm so limited, I don't know. The purple carrot, I don't know about that. I think because I'm only doing as far as I know right now, because I'm only doing that for a short time, I don't know if I would get that. I don't know if I would necessarily get that, but I don't know. I don't know. But you guys have been helpful. I've gotten some good ideas. Um, Taisha says she's going to make it for him and throw it in the freezer. He has 2 different Kongs. He's going to love it. Oh, bye, Taisha. See you at Dee Dee's Live tomorrow at 2. I will see you tomorrow. You are so busy, Dee Dee. Great job on all. I'm so unorganized, so I appreciate how amazing you do. You are a real inspiration. Teachers are the best. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. She's saying, you can see it. Okay, good. Are you paying big bucks for expensive salt and electrolytes? Well, you know what? Actually, I am not. I have Element. I'm signed up for Element, and actually, I just received a box. I think I scheduled it out so long and forgot about it. I forgot that I had scheduled it and it just charged me and sent another box. So I need to go in there and schedule it for like 6 months out. You can schedule it 6 months out. But I've also gotten free boxes from like somebody ordering under my code. I got a free box. So I'm elemented out. I mean, I have so much of that element. And actually I only drink one packet a week, and that's usually on my injection day, which is a Wednesday. So I'm not drinking a whole lot of element, and I'm not purchasing a whole lot of element. Like I said, this last one slipped by me. But you know what I have at my house, and I need to, give that away to somebody too. I have the element that's the in the cans, like the soda, like the sparkling ones, and watermelon, which is my favorite. I have yet to try that. I said maybe on my spring break I'll try it. As I saw somebody else who tried it, and they weren't exercising. I know to drink electrolytes you should be exercising, almost like kind of like an athlete. And the reason why I bought those, I was watching the Countess of Shopping, and I had this really bad cramp, and she talked about how like it was good for cramps and good for if you're tired and feeling fatigued. And so that's what made me start, and I just kind of liked the taste of it. And so I thought, okay. And I was drinking them like once a day. And then I scaled back from once a day to 3 times a day. And then I scaled that back to 1 day on my injection. So I have that big box of that. I have yet to open it. I need to open it and try it. I've had that for probably 3 months sitting down in my laundry room. And then I have a box that I just got that I didn't even realize was coming. And then I have another box I think that I got for free that they sent me, due to my referral code. So yeah, so I guess yes and no. Yes and no. So that's another thing I plan to do though on my vacation is kind of go through and like get rid of some of these things that I'm not using. Some of the, I did this video talking about, being on a budget and how, you can save money and maybe use that surplus of money to help pay for your medication. Well, one of the things that I talked about was how I got rid of some subscriptions that I didn't even realize I was paying for. One of them was $99 a month. I was paying for this subscription. Another subscription, I paid $320 something for the year, and it was about to renew, and I caught it in time. So that it wouldn't automatically renew. So I canceled some of that, but I think I still have room to cancel. I just saw something else the other day that I was had an automatic it was on Amazon, some things that I had ordered and I pushed back, and now they're coming up for me to reorder, and I just want to cancel them. So that element is another one. I'm going to push that one way back, because that stuff adds up. It's expensive. Yeah, the factor meals do look good. They do. Unfortunately, I don't worry about all that stuff. Oh, well, I'm glad, Jen. I wish I didn't have to worry about it. I go to a local barbecue place and order the turkey, use it in all different ways for the week. A lot of flavor, and I didn't have to roast a whole turkey in the smoker to get it. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. These meals marked keto will tend to have more fat in them, less carbs, but higher fat. I see that. You saw how much that fat, wasn't it like 32 grams of fat? Isn't that a lot of fat? How much fat was that? It's 56 grams of fat. Now, where are they getting 56 grams of fat in salmon? Is it that much? I don't know. Downsize. I use straight up pink Himalayan salt. No need to pay for tons for superb salts and electrolytes powder. Yes. And I know there was a little controversy with Element. I just love the taste of that Element. Just the watermelon flavor, though. Talk to your doctor about salt. The thoughts of it have shifted in the last few years, which leads to things like Element that are essentially salty water. Yes, yes, yes. I've heard that. Yeah, and I heard the controversy they were having with that Element too. And that's what really made me kind of back off of it. But I'm still drinking the one a day. Someone was saying, I was seeing on somebody else's live that they were saying that there's an electrolyte that's kind of all natural, if that's a thing. And so I said I need to go back and write that down and maybe try that out. And I don't really need it. I honestly don't need it. I'm working out, but I'm not working out to that degree. I've been using pink Himalayan salt too lately. Okay, that's an option. Okay, very good. I use it in cooking, not in my water. Hadn't heard of that. You haven't heard of using that? Are you talking about the Himalayan salt in water or electrolytes? Which I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Same here, Delilah. I mix the pink Himalayan salt with the Crystal Light packet. Okay. I haven't had Crystal Light in a long time. It leads to the question, why water but worry about the salt in the factor meals? Yes, 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 yes. That's true. That's because it has a taste, and I in my mind, that's a great question. In my mind, I'm thinking that the salt in the electrolytes is helping with fatigue, and I'm thinking it's helping because I'm taking it on my injection day. So I'm thinking it's helping so that my muscles are, not getting what do you call that, tense and all that. So I'm thinking of it's helping with other things, not just I'm drinking the salty water. But I do like the way it tastes. I'm gonna be honest about that. So that's what I was thinking. But when I was kind of doing my research on it, they were, it started off being, a thing for athletes. Like it was made for these high performing athletes. And like I said, I listened to that Countess of Shopping. I got on, and not to throw her under the bus or anything, but it did work, because I had a muscle spasm. And when I heard her say that, I'm like, I'm ordering some of this stuff and ordered it. And I haven't had one since. And so that's the reason why I started taking it. But that's a good point. We talk about the salt, but we're drinking these electrolytes. Good point. Ultima is what is all natural. Okay, so what makes it all natural though? I guess that's what I want to know. Like, what makes it all natural? Because we hear that a lot, and how do we really know? Is it because it's something artificial? Because artificial can say all natural when it's artificial. The thoughts on cholesterol being raised by the way of whole foods like eggs, meat, and it has also shifted. It's more linked to sugar and high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. Yeah, but those studies, I guess look at those studies by who is putting out the study, because a lot of times, we look at a lot of these research companies and things are paid. Like who are you getting this research from? I guess when I'm looking at research, I'm looking at the players involved, and I'm looking at who's sponsoring the research. I guess I'm also looking at that too. Um, but I do believe that it's multiple things causing all these problems. Basically, the issue is the food and how we're manufacturing the food is what I feel. Celtic sea salt helps build muscle and strengthen your bones. My DEXA tech shared that with me last year. I've been using it in my cooking since last year. Y'all check it out. I've heard of that Celtic salt. It reminds me of that one lady. What's her name? Everybody's like generating, sorry, things that she's saying. What is her name? She's known as like a holistic kind of coach. And if you go on Facebook, I mean, there are always people are regenerating. It looks like she's talking, but it's not. It's AI. I guess she's known as some like wholesome health coach. What is her name? I'm gonna look up her name and let you know. But yeah, for her, she talks about that Celtic salt, and that's the first time I heard of it. At home, I don't really add salt to things. I might use a little bit of what do you call that? I don't add salt at all. I don't add like regular salt to anything. What seasoning salt? I use Lowry seasoning salt on some things. My dad thinks my food is bland, and so that's a way I can get out of cooking for him. But sometimes he doesn't care. He'll just add his own salt to it. Good to know, Mel. Yes, yes, yes. That sounds good. They're saying, Mel, on the salt and water, I misunderstood. Now I do have electrolytes. Never sure which ones are the best. There are so many brands of these powders. Yes, that's true. That's true. Counters of shopping. Hint, hint. LOL. Countess of shopping. Yes. And that's the funny thing. When people talk about her and her shopping and promoting this and that, I say her name is the Countess of Shopping. What do you expect? And she was doing, a lot of this touting of things before she started on the GLP-1. So it probably was a natural fit for her to just go right into doing this on there. I like her though. I do like her. I don't get to watch her as often now because I'm busy with my own channel. I don't know because it says it is. I use it because I don't like the flavor of regular water, at least amount of added salt, LOL. Yeah, okay. I'm going to look up the ingredients in that. Mel B, my husband has been looking for Celtic salt. He was saying all the benefits. We haven't been able to find it in our small towns. I bet you could order it on Amazon. They have everything on Amazon. And she's like, exactly, Jen, LOL. Oh yeah, I know. She took a big hit too with that whole element. Well, I don't know if she took a hit. She's still people are still watching. She's still getting those views. She has a ton of subscribers, but she was caught up in the Element little scandal I think they had. And she didn't talk about it right away. And I watched the video where she addressed it. And I thought she did a nice job. When you're representing these companies, you're going in. She says, yes, she got hers from Amazon. When you're representing these companies and being a sponsor, I've got hitting up twice and haven't accepted anything yet. But I think when you're going in with the best intentions. You're going in believing that, this company is doing the right thing. And then you find out something is awry. And, what do you do? And I think the best thing to do is just to come out immediately and talk about it and not kind of put it under the rug. Because I think when you don't address things immediately, you give people an opportunity to form up their own thoughts in their mind, right? And things become worse than they need to be. And so, she waited, and she said she waited because she had a lot of other things going on, and she just, didn't. But, people were not giving her the benefit of the doubt, and it's like it's almost like they felt like she was in on the scandal of it all, and she was not. She was not. So, but I give her a lot of credit. She eventually addressed it, and she's still talking about Element. She even puts it in her title. So. She's like, I'm not going back. I'm not turning my back. And she said that they were very nice to her. The anniversary of her child's death, they sent her flowers. They were very, thoughtful. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to try out that Ultima Mia. I'll probably have to email you because after this live, I'll forget what it was called. I'm pretty sure. Let me write it down because then I won't forget. Then I'll probably throw away the sticky note. Oh, this is too funny. Well, thank you guys. You guys have been so helpful. So helpful. Sea salt or kosher salt. Okay. Debbie, I know Whole Foods sells it, so you can get it from Whole Foods, same company. I get it from Publix. Okay, very good. Very good. So I appreciate you guys. That's so helpful. So that's my plan. I'm going to this mall. My daughter's going to shop till she drops. She has a $200 gift card, but she's only going to spend, I say 60, but I might let her spend 80 depending on what she picks out. I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of her clothes. She's a 8 and she wears a size 6. So, I was telling the doctor, I said, she still wears a size 6 and she's an 8. And she says, yeah, because she's one of the few kids that aren't overweight. So I got to keep that going for that little lady. So, but some of her clothes are just small because they're a size 5, like 5 or 5X. So I have to go and get her some new little clothes, and I'm going to come back and plan everything out. And I'll, fill you guys in. I'm going to make a dedicated video, though, to like my food and what I'm eating and all of that. But I am going to share some of it tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow at 2. Thanks for joining me. I did not plan on being on here for 2 hours, but it's a good 2 hours. I appreciate all the feedback and all the ideas. So have a good Saturday. Have a happy Saturday. What time is it? It's 4:55 where I'm at. I don't know what time it is where you are, but enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.